Welcome to the IDFC Capacity Building Initiative for Tracking Green Finance. Over this series of 9 e-learning videos, you'll get a deep dive into the methodologies and tools IDFC members use to enhance their green finance tracking efforts. In this video, we'll explore the critical role of climate finance in addressing the energy sector's transition, focusing on both mitigation and adaptation measures. The energy sector plays a pivotal role in addressing climate change and the provision of climate finance. Despite receiving the largest share of global mitigation finance annually, CPI's work shows that there remains a staggering investment gap of $2.5 trillion per year in energy sector climate finance needs. This gap reflects the immense challenge of limiting emissions from the energy sector, while also meeting the rising global demand for energy, driven by population growth and urbanization. At the same time, rising climate risks, such as extreme weather events, demand that we invest in climate-resilient infrastructure to protect energy assets and maintain energy security. The common principles emphasize that activities are only eligible to be tracked as climate finance if they are in line with the other sustainable development objectives. In the context of the energy sector, SDG 7, to ensure access to affordable, reliable, and sustainable energy for all is relevant. Climate finance investments in the energy sector must not undermine these goals. It's vital that climate finance supports a just transition, ensuring that the costs and benefits of the transition are shared fairly across regions and communities. The common principles list the key eligible mitigation activities in the energy sector for climate mitigation finance tracking. These activities aim to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and increase energy efficiency. For an activity to be eligible to be tracked as mitigation finance, there must be a demonstrated substantial reduction in net greenhouse gas emissions across the entire life cycle of the project, from energy generation to transportation and even land use impacts. The sectoral tables in the common principles list screening criteria and guidance for each of the eligible energy sector activities. The energy sector guidance document provides further clarification on these criteria. When quantifying mitigation finance, only the costs directly contributing to greenhouse gas reductions are eligible. In the case of mixed-use projects, such as a pumped storage hydroelectricity plant using natural gas to pump water for storage, only the proportion of expenditure related to renewable energy qualifies as mitigation finance. Therefore, the costs for installing capacity for natural gas generation or transmission and distribution are not eligible as mitigation finance. In all cases, projects that inhibit low or negative emissions technology or promote the lock-in of fossil fuels are excluded from being counted as mitigation finance. Adaptation is equally important in the energy sector. With rising climate risks like extreme heat and floods, adaptation measures help reduce vulnerabilities. Let's look at some examples of energy sector adaptation projects. The development of stronger foundations for offshore wind farms will ensure the continued stability of wind energy production in the face of rising sea levels and storms. Underground transmission lines in areas prone to wildfires mitigate the risk of fire-related power outages and infrastructure damage. Thank you for watching. By tracking climate finance carefully, we can ensure that the energy transition supports global climate goals and benefits everyone. For more detailed guidance, please refer to the Common Principles for Climate Mitigation and Adaptation Finance Tracking on our website, or sign up for our next workshop on the Common Principles.